Hi all, welcome to my implementation part of the hospital medical cost analysis. So as we have told earlier, this is my dashboard and right and left are the slices which I use to interact with the dashboards with the data points, or we can say it as the charts. So here are the charts. There are various type of charts. You see here, this is called a bar charts. These are the scatter plot. These are the pie charts. What we are trying to do is, firstly we try to find the relationship between the BMI and the charges. Those who don't know what is BMI, they are the relationship between they try to find using certain metrics between the using the height and the weight. And here we can see evidently that from 0 to 20 thousands of the charges, BMI accounts to 15 to 40 approximately, which means that within this percentile of average there are huge growths. So people within almost around 30 to 35 of BMI are giving more income to the hospital, and their charges are getting paid as well. Means that insurance might be given for these type of people, so they try to come within this age group, so that as they have the higher number of dependents, it will be helpful for them to pay in a larger amount. Now uh, coming to the second one, which tells us about the age group. So age group is about the different type of age groups, as we see 18 to 25, which is after the teenage, then goes on up to above 45. Above 45 is having evidently the highest number of cost. This is mostly due to their illness or uh, any other metrics that might be affecting these type of areas. And also there can be certain factors like smoking effect of people who might have got who are into these habits might get illness, and other respiratory issues might be taken down to the hospital, and which might incur a lot of cost from their side as well. So as we see that as the age group increases, we can see a huge medical cost coming from this, which means that as the age increases, the medical cost will increase as well, which means that as this will increase more number of patients as the age increases. Distributor of medical charges, most of them try to go with 1.1 to 11.1, which tries to tell that most of the revenue is generated from these people, which means that there can be a lot of reasons. One can be that most of these people are of a male category and they might be smokers. Second would be they would be having dependents which would have concessions. So if there is concession or lesser amount, people will try to come more. So higher the people, and if it's lower amount also, if it comes as higher as the lower, if you try to multiply, you will get higher than the any highest amount which is having with a lesser people. So that's what is evident within this. Next comes the average medical charges with BMI. This tells us about the BMI with respect to the medical charges. BMI stabilizes even though we can see a height in the men charges, which means that most of the time males are prone to more diseases, as they might be the high influences for the smoking causes, which need to be controlled from their side, and medical campaigns should be needed for the male dominations as well, maybe due to certain external factors such as risk or stress that are associated with their jobs. So job schedules also play a huge role over here. So as the lifestyle pattern goes in a different route or diverts, it might cause these type of medical issues, which might take them to a situation where they have to uh, help themselves by going to the hospital and to pay the dues or the charges. Next comes the smoking and the non-smoking category. Smoking category is less than 25%, as we see. Non-smoking category, we can see that it accounts to 32,550, which means that it is about 75%. We can say around 75 to 77% almost, which is a huge. Uh, Yellow is for smoker. So smokers are evidently higher, and we know that, than the non-smokers. Non-smokers are around less than 25%. Smokers come up to even 77 or 78%. Coming to region-wise charges, we can see evidently, as we have saw from the PPT as well, southeastern regions have to be taken more care of. As we can see, most number of people, irrespective of age, are getting into more number of illnesses and respiratory issue, or we can say many other problems, which might incur a lot of cost for them. So as we smoke or we try to get into any other activities, it can cause us into most of the actions, which means that most of these people might not be getting might be getting into these activities, but then they are getting this, but then problem is that these kind of people cannot stay for long, because as there is a lot of illnesses within the region, it can be difficult for the region to sustain as well. So southeastern region should take certain campaigns or any other welfare issues for addressing it to their customers or any societal needs. Medical charges versus number of dependents. I have used a line chart here which tells us about the number of dependents versus the number of children. Medical charges. As we see that as the medical charges are higher when the number of dependents increase up to 2. After 2.5, after 3, we can see there's a huge decline, which means that most of the dependents are uh, mostly as we have more number of dependents, there can be a concession from the medical hospitals or medical charges, which means that more number of customers come. It doesn't respectively mean to come higher than the initial cost for if they are if they don't have children or even 1 or 2 children. Total revenue of smoking status, we can see it's evidently high for southeastern regions. It's very higher than the nose, and other regions are lesser than the nose, which means that they are trying to control, but southeastern region should take actions in order to prevent this, as most of the underweight and overweight can also occur, and most of the instability in the instability within the growth rate is pretty high in these type of areas. BMI category with total patients, we can see that uh, obese and overweight are very higher. Underweight accounts to only 20, which means that very less people, which can be small children or which are within 0 to 5 category. But normal is 222, which is a good healthy lifestyle. This much people are possessing. Coming to overweight and obese, you can see that most of these people might be accounting to more than 75% of this, which means that certain measures have to be taken. Even around 80% of these people are getting into more problems, and certain actions should be taken from the medical side as well. Now since we need to interact with uh, the dashboard, we'll just know what all are the metrics we need to know. So right now we can see regions are there. Okay, so I want to know inspect more on the southeastern region. So let me just click southeastern region. Now in the southeastern regions, yes, we can see that uh, 208, around 700 was given. 208 comes to this category, which means more than dependents would be more than 3. Let's just see. Yes, dependents are pretty much more than 3, and we can see that there's a decline in the rate in the dependents as well. When we are coming to the revenue, we can see that most number of people come under the category of smoker status. Most number of people are obese in this area, which should be addressed, as we know that higher number of weights will cause lot of fertility issues and mortality issues in these areas. Also we can see, irrespective of their BMIs, costs are high. These are mostly due to their lifestyle, which should be addressed at an earlier stage. Average medical charges with BMI is also being shown. So around charges in region wise itself, we can see that 14,735, which is heavily high. And when you're just taking full of this, you might be around getting 350, which is around a lot of figure and should be addressed at that moment. Yes, the relationship between BMI is almost the same for this. So most of the areas 35 to 45 are evidently high, along with above for 45, which means that value comes to 19,565 for this, which means there are illness, prolonged illness due to certain other smoking activities or any other things should be reduced at this age, because as you grow older it can be more worse, or it can get into more problems. 35 to 45, we can see that it goes to 15,933, which is more of a not good rate. 18 to 35 are pretty much the same. So within this till 35, most of them only get around averagely 10,000 in that category. But as you grow, it's coming 5% more, which should be addressed at an earlier stage itself. Now, if I want to check the smoker status, let's just go and check. Yes, I want to just check smoker status along with southeastern areas. Okay, smoker status, we can see that most of these people are having smoking status. Yes, around this much comes as a smoking status itself for the thing. So 34,845 comes as a smoking status. This is average medical charges itself come for male around 36,029, which is alarming for them as well. And we can see a lot of obese cases are coming here with 59 people who are smoking in this area who have become obese, and overweight is 18. So we can calculatively say that around 77 people, okay, are coming under this category. 14 are only leading a good lifestyle, which is very less on the lifestyle that they are having. But then most of the people are getting into other addictions which need to be addressed at the earlier stage. Dependents with two number of people are having highest rate. 0 to 3 are the smoking category people. After 3 it is less, we can see. The least number of amount that is caused by one of the smokings is for one dependent. Only with the one child is having the least as of now. Other all are also not there. 4 to 5 is also not there. So that's it. For male, you can see it's prolongedly high. Females also, it's not bad. It's coming to 33,034. So these are the areas which need to be addressed. So let's just go to my data set. So this is my data set. So I have created a pivot table for each of these as charts, and I have then used it to my dashboard, which had helped me. And here I have noted down the charges, BMI in each in a distribution table, which will help me to understand it in a statistical summary manner. So based on this analysis, we can say that each category comes to 39.21. Most of the people are prolonged to these type of illnesses and smoking categories as well. Distribution. So all of this come under the pivot table. So yes. So as conclusion, southeastern Asians should be taken more care of, as these areas are getting into more trouble, and most of the males should be given uh, more awareness regarding this kind of illnesses and many other things as well. So thank you and have a nice day.